Good morning, I'm Becca Gutierrez. Thanks for joining us for Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Alasia Williams. Here's a look at some of the stories we'll be talking about over the next half an hour.
Journalists speaking to SU students describe how they pulled off a high-profile sting operation. We'll tell you more about this year's Toner Award winners.
Also, we'll show you how the Orange Ability event encourages disabled people to participate in athletics.
And an a cappella performance on campus is all about women's empowerment. We'll hear from the group's president.
All that, plus your weather and orange sports coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Our top story this morning, the Mandarins and Main Squeeze Women a cappella groups on campus are hosting their third annual event, Empower.
Our Casey Busher joins us live at Krause to tell us more about the event and what to expect.
Thanks, Alasia and Becca. Here at Krause, the Main Squeeze and Mandarin a cappella groups on campus have been rehearsing for their event tomorrow. The two groups are hosting Empower at Shine tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Empower is an event hosted by the two a cappella groups on campus that takes place once a year in the fall. President of Main Squeeze, Keely Hotchkins, has been a part of Main Squeeze for 3 years. She says that joining this group of women changed her life.
Being a part of a group and making music with women who are constantly supporting me and constantly lifting me up, like to be the best I can be, has been an experience like no other. And I actually was a part of the first year that we started the event, Empower.
The event is about woman empowerment, body positivity, and supporting one another through music. The Women Involved's mission is to provide support to those who need it and education about body positivity. Hotchkins says being a part of this has shown her the importance of self-worth and having a support system.
When you do join smaller groups like these that, make you feel better, you have more of an opportunity and are more comfortable to actually make a change and really prove to, others around you that you are deserving, you're beautiful, and you should feel that way. No matter what you look like, what you do, we deserve the same rights as everybody else.
Tickets are $3 with an SUID. Doors open at 7:30 and music begins at 8 p.m. This is an event that you will not want to miss. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Casey Busher. Back to you in studio.
The University Senate will vote today on a new way of scheduling classes. The plan is to optimize scheduling with Monday, Thursday, and Tuesday, Friday classes. Wednesdays will be left open to be used as a study day for students.
Finals week would also serve as an extra week of classes if an exam is not being given. An email obtained by Citrus TV says mandatory Friday classes will promote a healthier social environment.
But students have not been asked their opinion. The Senate will vote at 4 p.m. today after gathering no student input. Time to check your weather for today.
Dom Musillo is live out on University Ave to tell us what to expect. Good morning, Dom.
Quite a weird week of weather here in Syracuse, and Mother Nature is going to continue to throw us curveballs. Yesterday it was t-shirts and shorts, and by this weekend you might be needing your winter coat. Taking a look at the 5-day forecast, it's currently 75 degrees, mostly sunny with a high of 81. Tonight there's a chance of showers and thunderstorms between 2 and 3 a.m. Tomorrow it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 76 degrees and a chance of rain in the early evening. At night, things will cool down to 48. As for this weekend, it's not looking so great for apple picking. Friday, it's mostly cloudy with a high of 49 and a 40% chance of rain at night. Saturday, showers are expected and it's not getting any warmer. High of 47 and a low around 38 by Saturday night. Sunday, the sun isn't expected to peek through either. Mostly cloudy with a high of 54. So really just a weird week of weather here in Syracuse. Hot earlier in the week. Going to cool down a little bit later on, so hopefully we have some better luck next week and see some sun. Back to you guys in the studio.
The two Washington Post reporters who were part of a group that won this year's Toner Award were on campus last night to talk to the students about their work.
Stephanie McCrumman and Tom Legro described the challenges of covering Alabama U.S. Senate candidate Roy Moore.
Both said they knew their reputations were on the line. Their team uncovered sexual misconduct allegations against Moore. They were then targeted by groups who attempted to discredit the Post's reporting. The journalist told students that in times like these, it's best to go back to the basics.
It's the time, especially now, to focus on the basics of learning how to be a reporter, learning how to ask questions, learning how to listen, and learning how to write a solid story.
I think that we can sort of get carried away sometimes with sensationalized stories or opinions or emotions, but for us on this story and what we hoped that the students took away from it was just focusing on the story.
Both McCruman and Lee girls say it is an honor to receive the Toner Award and to speak with students about their experience.
Flu season is right around the corner and Syracuse University is helping you prepare. Faculty and staff can get the flu vaccine on select days on campus.
Flu vaccines are available for students today from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Flanagan Gym or at Health Services on a walk-in basis, and you must have a valid SU ID.
October is Disability Awareness and Appreciation Month.
Our Rebecca Castor is in studio this morning to tell us how SU is focusing on disability pride throughout October.
Thanks, Becca and Alasia. There are numerous events on campus this month focusing on disability and its many intersections. One of the largest annual events was held this Sunday. Sponsored by the Disability Student Union, the 8th annual Orangeability Expo provides disabled and non-disabled people of all ages the opportunity to play sports together. Orangeability is an event students and people in the Syracuse community look forward to every year. This year's event featured wheelchair tennis, basketball, sled hockey, and hand cycles. Priya Penner is a junior at SU and the president of the Disability Student Union. She says the goal of this event is to make everyone feel welcomed.
Attendees of the event can really engage with the sport and with the athletes to get an idea of, what it means to be a disabled athlete.
Athletes of all ages came out to the Women's Building on Sunday to participate in the event, including Dr. Chen from the Chancellor's office. Many were excited to have a space where they could play right alongside their able-bodied friends.
This event really provides space for disabled people to be involved in a sport and be involved in a fun activity, but also just simply be without having to worry about, how our bodies are different than anyone else's.
If you missed this weekend's event, do not worry. There are more events focusing on disability awareness throughout the rest of this month. Tomorrow, an online conference begins for students with disabilities, and Friday, there's a poetry reading in Shine Student Center honoring disabled veterans. For a full list of events, please visit SU's Disability Services website. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Rebecca Castor. Back to you, Becca and Alasia.
Thanks, Rebecca. Syracuse University is going purple for Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
The Office of Health Promotion and Peers are hosting events all month long to continue their clothesline art project display in Panache Lounge. The t-shirts are decorated by people who have been affected by domestic violence.
The art project will be available for viewing until this Sunday. Other events on campus include an office decorating contest judged by student volunteers with award certificates for the winners.
So some ways you can tell that a relationship is healthy is if you have open communication with each other, if there is mutual respect within the relationship, if they listen to you and understand your problems, try to be supportive.
The Hall of Languages in Hendricks Chapel are illuminated with purple, which signifies the courage of domestic violence survivors. This year's National Wear Purple Day is next Thursday, October 18th.
Everyone is encouraged to take the pledge and wear a purple ribbon or purple clothes to help raise awareness. Post your photos to social media using the hashtag #SUGoesPurple. Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill, how has the new student building affected business on Marshall Street?
We talked to workers on the Strip to find out how the new luxury housing is impacting foot traffic for stores.
And later, heart-wrenching stories from women who provide 24/7 care to wounded veterans.
Our Taylor Epps will be live in studio with documentary producer Stephanie Selden to tell us more. Stay tuned.
Welcome back back to Mornings on the Hill. Your go-to street for food, coffee, and late night life just became a lot busier.
The new apartment building, The Marshall, that holds almost 300 students, is creating even more business for the unofficial hub of Syracuse University, Marshall Street. The tenants were able to move into Marshall Street a little less than a month ago, and business has already experienced a surge in visitors. This comes after an entire block of restaurants were torn down to build the apartment building last year. With so many more people living behind Marshall Street and fewer places for students to grab a quick bite to eat, businesses still in the area are reaping the benefits from the new luxury apartment building.
I see my friends who live in the Marshall, they come in and get pickup just because it's so much easier. Like, there's a lot more people coming in as opposed to doing delivery now, I think, because they're so close.
Construction on the Marshall is still not finished. With no end in sight, all tenants have moved in and are able to enjoy all that Marshall Street has to offer, even though the building itself is incomplete.
The iconic Salt City skyline will get a new look. The university is planning to renovate the Carrier Dome. While nothing is set in stone, they unveiled photos and plans to the Syracuse Common Council.
They'll add steel bars to reinforce the tension membrane roof. Syracuse plans to have even more renovations, including air conditioning, by 2022.
Just in time for the upcoming October 20th game against North Carolina, SU's Orange Out shirts are now on sale.
The tee's design features 3 of Coach Baber's iconic speeches. Shirts can be bought online or at the bookstore for $14.
Syracuse University sent out a memo last week informing the campus community of recent bike theft.
Bikes can range from $200 to $4,000. According to campus officials, there's been nearly 5 arrests already in the past few weeks. Easily accessible locks are said to be the problem. That is why some students are going out and purchasing a heavy-duty replacement.
You know, it's really more of an inconvenience than anything, so when you come out to get your bike and it's gone, now you have to find another way to maybe get to where you're going. But yeah, otherwise now you gotta go out and buy a new bike, the whole inconvenience of, you know, your bike missing. So I would say the main reason to lock it up is so it doesn't cost you more money later in the long run.
If your bike has been stolen, or for more information about registration, contact Department of Public Safety or your local police department.
There will be a screening of the award-winning documentary, The Weight of Honor, tonight in the Herg Auditorium here at Newhouse. The film tells the story of 6 women who acted as caregivers of veterans wounded in Iraq and Afghanistan.
The film is the first documentary of its kind, giving a voice to the behind-the-scene heroes. Our own Taylor Epps is live in studio this morning with the executive producer and director of the film, Stephanie Selden Howard.
Becca and Elijah, I'm joined this morning by Stephanie Selden Howard, the executive producer and director of the film. Stephanie, it's great to have you on the show this morning.
Thanks, Taylor. I'm glad to be here.
So can you tell us a little bit about what inspired the project?
You know, sometimes when you're when you're always a documentarian, you're looking for stories that haven't been told that resonate with a lot of people. And when I saw that this story hadn't been told, I became passionate about it. And I thought if I found it interesting and I thought it was something that should be told, perhaps other people would be interested. And that sort of started the ball rolling.
So I know this was a long 5-year process. How did you find the families?
You know, that was very difficult because at that time, there weren't a lot of connections going on with groups that were working with caregiver families. So quite honestly, I was on Facebook a lot because that seemed to be the forum where mostly these women would talk to one another late at night when they couldn't sleep or they were trying to take care of their loved one. And also there were groups that were starting nonprofit groups, and I would contact them and get direction for families that I could contact.
Now I know you teamed up with your husband on this project. How was that for you?
Roger and I work very well together. He's a photographer, he's a cameraman, and it was sort of okay back in old times because we were working together in news for a long time, and I sort of didn't have to tell him to do anything, and he didn't have to tell me to leave him alone. He knew his job.
So tell me, who's the perfect audience for this film? Who should come out and see it?
You know, there is no perfect audience. We've been getting a lot of response from other caregiver groups, people in the health sciences from universities. We've had people who come in as journalists to see it. And also, I know here you have a great veteran community and military community, and I anticipate a lot of families who are military or veteran will be coming.
So where can people see the film?
From what I know, it's going to be shown at the HERG, I believe at 6 p.m. And they sort of wind me up and bring me in and tell me where I need to go.
And that's a free event, right?
It's free.
It's free.
It's free.
For
And
everyone.
that's a big thing.
So again, that's 6:30 tonight here in the HERG at Newhouse. Thanks so much, Stephanie, for joining this morning, and congratulations on the film's success.
Thanks very much.
And now that's I've been Taylor Epps live in studio. Now time for your Orange Buzz.
Good morning, Orange Nation. I'm Dom Usilla with your Orange Buzz. What's trending on the Hill? Syracuse football, with a disappointing loss Saturday to Pittsburgh, led to some fans taking to Twitter to vent. Let's see some of these tweets. Inside the Loud House says, going to be completely honest here, just a bowl berth in 2018 would be a massive disappointment. As the season has progressed, Hughes football fans' expectations have increased. Being just mediocre will get SU to a bowl. We need more than that. Others took a more positive approach, such as William Damon, tweeting at BrentAxe Media, I think expectations have gotten wildly out of control. This team isn't a world beater, and we were predicted to have a negative record by a lot of people. Yes, the team has made mistakes, but this is the best I've seen Syracuse football in more than a decade. And then others think that just Stephen A. Smith should come back. At Stephen A. Smith, Chris Hucko says, you need to come back up to Syracuse and give another motivational speak to our football. Get them back on the winning track. And then one more. We have Ben Gallman-Chomsky, a BDJ alum. I'm 5'6", 145, have never played football, more serious than two-hand touch, and I wear glasses. Clearly, I need to be the next great Syracuse wide receiver and return ace. So now we'll toss to Keanu Hagigi, who has the highs from the Syracuse and Pittsburgh football match on Saturday. Keanu, take it away.
Good morning, I'm Keanu Hagigi with your Orange Sports Update here on Mornings on the Hill. Well, as Dom said, a very tough crowd. Syracuse football was looking to bounce back after a tough loss on the road versus Clemson. We go to Heinz Field to see if the Orange could get back into the win column against the Pitt Panthers. We take over in the first quarter where quarterback Eric Dungey drops back to pass. He's going to find his wide receiver Nakeem Johnson for a gain of 19 yards, getting into Pitt territory. Next, same play. Dungey fakes the handoff, floats it into Aaron Hackett for a touchdown, 7-0 Qs. We're going to go fast forward here into the third quarter now. Eric Dungey is going to be looking for a wide receiver, any wide receiver, looking. You know what? I'm going to take matters into my own hands. He's going to run all the way to the pylon, goes airborne, touchdown Syracuse. They're going to be taking the lead into the fourth quarter. But here we go. Kicker Alex Kessman goes to tie the game to bring it into overtime. Snap. The kick is up. It's hooking, it's good. This game is going to overtime. So Pitt is lined up with the ball in overtime. Looks like they're coming out in the Wildcat formation here. Receiver goes in motion, snap. They're gonna push their way through into the end zone, which means Syracuse needs a touchdown to keep the game going. So what does QB Eric Dungey have in his bag of tricks? He takes the snap, drops back to pass. He's gonna launch it deep into the end zone. Intercepted. Syracuse will drop a nail-biter in Pittsburgh by a score of 44-37. Here's what Syracuse head coach Dino Babers had to say after the Orange dropped back-to-back games for the first time this year.
We're really disappointed that we couldn't come home with a victory, but we didn't give it away. I mean, this was a hard-fought contest between really two teams that really wanted to win, and you know, they made a couple more plays than us. My hat goes off to them, and good luck to them for the rest of the season.
Syracuse men's soccer hasn't beaten a #1 ranked team since 2000 when they pulled off the upset against UConn on the road. Last Friday, the Orange did it again as they defeated #1 Wake Forest 2-0. On Sunday, the women's soccer team hosted #3 North Carolina. Could the women's team keep the momentum going? Let's go to SU Soccer Stadium. Free kick for North Carolina is going to be headed in by Bridget Anderzajewski, making it 1-0 North Carolina. But Cuse will respond. Megan Root sneaks past the defender, tucks it into the back corner, 2-1 UNC. But UNC just had way too much firepower as they would score 7 goals by 7 different players and eventually end up with a 7-1 win. Syracuse will look to bounce back on Saturday as the Orange will host Notre Dame. I'm Keanu Igigi. That's your sports update. Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill, Ultra Fast Green Energy, a Syracuse alum, wins $1 million to bring his portable e-car battery charger to the masses. That story and more just ahead on Mornings on the Hill. Stay with us.
Syracuse alum Joshua Aviv just hit it big. The 2014 graduate won $1 million for inventing a fast-charging battery for electric cars. Aviv believes that his big ideas began in his environmental and resource economics class at Syracuse. His old professor, Dr. Peter Wilcoxon, says that Joshua's accomplishments were almost expected.
See it coming, but on the other hand, it doesn't surprise me because Josh he's just really energetic and he's a great people person, and he just pursued this idea steadily ever since he was in this class. So that's like 4 years now.
His company Spark Charge is helping to expand just how far electric cars can get on the road.
Joshua is expected to move Spark Charge to Buffalo in early 2019.
I'm Emily Barkan, and here's what's going on this weekend here on the Hill. This month is Disability Awareness and Appreciation Month. Tomorrow, the multi-formatted library exhibit on disability cultures, pride, and identities will continue. Co-hosted with the Disability Cultural Center, the Disability Student Union, and the Disability Studies program, visitors can learn and understand more about people with disabilities. The exhibit is all day and ends on October 31st. Friday, the 15th annual WellsLink transition ceremony with keynote speaker Sean Harper is taking place at 4 p.m. in Hendricks Chapel. The WellsLink Leadership Program is for first-year students here at SU. The ceremony honors last year's scholars who made it to their second year. Harper, a provost professor at the University of Southern California, researches race and gender within organizations. Continuing with Disability Awareness and Appreciation Month, Saturday will be the 3rd day of Disabled and Proud, Leading Change. This is an online conference open to the entire campus community that focuses on access, inclusion, and changing campus climates for disabled people. To top off our second weekend of October, Sweet Honey in the Rock, an internationally acclaimed vocal ensemble, will give Syracuse University a visit as a part of their 45th anniversary season. Performances are based on African American history and culture to promote equality. The group will perform in Hendricks Chapel at 7 p.m. And that's Weekends on the Hill for this week. I'm Emily Barkan.
That will do it for us this morning. I'm Becca Gutierrez. Thanks for watching Orange Nation.
And I'm Malaysia Williams. Check us out on social media and send us story ideas. See you next week, Wednesday at 10 a.m. right here on OTN.